Good morning, piano families. For piano year 2, we're going to go over the things that we talked about in our class last week for the old gray cat. So I'm letting you have a good look at movement number 1, the Largo. And remember, we said Largo means that it's very kind of long and slow and drawn out, and that's kind of the feeling we would expect for the sleeping cat. Right, so just want you to take a look at that. Remember that we said our right hand is playing in second inversion position. That's that new position in G major that we practiced on page 10. So if you need to go back to page 10 to remember what that looks and feels like, go ahead and do that. And that's also on a video if you need help with that. Now, if my hand position is in G position, or second inversion position in G, that means my number 3 finger is on G, Do, and my number 1 finger is on Sol, Sol, Do. Oops, I need to turn my piano. Okay, so number 1 finger is going to play Sol, and then my number 3 finger plays Do, and my number 5 finger plays Mi. Okay, Sol, Do, Mi. And back to the music now. We saw, and we even, if you want, you can write down Sol, Do for the beginning just to remind yourself that D, remember we're naming notes now, D to G in the key of G is Sol, Do. And then it says Sol, Do again. This time it goes up to, from Do, line to line would be Do, Mi, Do, Sol, Do, Sol, Do, Sol. Then we have this little pickup note, pickup, Sol, Do, Mi, Do, Sol. And here's that pattern that's also on our page 10 practice, La, Ti, Do. Okay, so what I want you guys to remember for the right hand is that, notice this has a legato, a slur mark here all the way across. Remember, the slur is different than the tie. The tie ties the notes that are the same together and means you don't play them again. You just hold them all the way out. But the slur means that we're going to play the notes connected, okay? So some of your students need a little more practice playing connected. Have them hold down one note and then play the other note while they're picking up this one. And just have them go back and forth, holding down one and having them connected. Okay, when they can do that, then you can start playing the legato that's up here. Now notice the what we call the dynamic marking. That dynamic means loud and soft. We haven't talked about that in a while, but you can reminding you students that dynamics means, is it louder, is it soft, or is it getting louder, crescendoing, or is it getting softer, decrescendoing? Okay, and notice our dynamic marking is here. Does anyone remember what that is? Hopefully you remember that P stands for piano, which means soft. Okay, so when you're practicing the sleeping cat, you need to be playing it very softly and smooth and slow and connected, okay? That's your right hand. We're not gonna, the left hand, of course, is going to play in root position, so that means my pinky is on G. So again, here's my root position. Actually, here we go, okay? So G in my the normal root position that we always play. And again, that's just an open fifth. We call that a 1 chord with no middle, right? So we're just going to play that 1 chord with no middle and hold it out. So if I was singing with it, it would sound like this. The old gray cat is sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. The old gray cat is sleeping. Then this one, in the So that's the left hand. You can work on that a little bit. Then we're going to skip over to movement number 4. Remember, movement number 4 is vivace. is very fast and light and bouncy, okay? And notice that these are staccato. So they're going to play this the right hand is all the same. It's the same notes, but now instead of legato, playing them connected, we're going to play them staccato. In order to play staccato, hand and your wrist bounce, right? And actually the last one is staccato too, look. Okay. Now, one more really cool thing about this that we didn't talk about in class, so I need you to pay attention. This little 8VA up here stands for an octave, and the line across there all the way to the end, and again here, octave, and the line across there means that we're going to play this whole thing up 1 octave. So normally where it's written is the same as all the others. It's written down here. But since I have that octave up marking, we're going to move up a whole octave. So remember, here's my second inversion position. I'm going to move all the way up to second inversion position, an octave higher. And then you can think of it more as a little mouse, because listen, it's going to sound more light and skippy. Oops, here we go. Oh, it's scampering too. So the little mouse is scampering, scampering, scampering. The little mouse is scampering in the house. Okay? And then once they can play the legato, once they can play the staccato and do well at that and play it up an octave, then the vivace means we're going to play it very fast, because of course the little mouse is scampering quickly to get away from the rat, from the cat, I mean. So okay, so faster on that one, but not until they are ready to play it faster. Now let's look at the left hand on movement number 4. Notice it is in root position chords again. Now, the difference between this root position chord is that it has the middle note. It's also written, again, an octave higher, okay? And that's meant to sound higher. Remember, the old gray cat is big and fat and heavy, so he has that low sound way down here. But the other sound is root position an octave higher, so it's going to sound more like this, and with the 3 notes instead of 2. So let's watch I'm going to sing it as I play the chords. Again, the chord, look, it's super easy. The chord does not change. And all we have is this little part at the end. What is that? Let's see. If this is do, mi, sol, and this is fa, re. One chord without, this time without the top note, just the bottom 2 notes, just do and mi, right? Do, mi, not sol. Do you see that? Do, mi, here's do, mi, sol, above the, sol is above the ledger line, that B, but we're not playing the B here, we're only playing G and, we're not playing the D here, we're only playing G and B, okay? So here's how it sounds. The little mouse is scampering. Oh, I need to play another chord there, here we go. The little mouse is scampering, scampering, scampering. The little mouse is scampering in the house. Okay? Again, staccato. Right? Don't worry about putting those together until they are super easy all by themselves. And then you can work on putting them together little by little, okay? That's all we're going to talk about for Old Gray Cat right now. And next week we will move on to movements 2 and 3, all right? If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye-bye.